Today, we are going to do the last step in the process of making the owl. I am going to use a plastic cup and I'm going to trace the smaller side of the plastic cup onto my paper. You can trace it twice, or you can fold the paper in half and cut the circle twice. By making one circle and folding it in half, you can actually make two that are exactly the same. So I'm going to cut both papers at the same time, and now I have two circles. So you can either trace it twice, or you can fold and cut one to make two. So I'm now going to use the same cup, but I'm going to use the bigger side, and I'm going to draw a curve, just a semicircle curve, so only half the cup. Make sure it's touching, and these are going to be the top part of the head. This is the outer part of the eyeball. Look, it should look like the number 3 or letter W. I'm going to curve the edges just a little bit, and then I'm going to cut right on that line. My owl's head should not be pointy, so I don't want to leave that pointy corner still attached. So I'm just going to very carefully trim just a little bit of that paper and curve the corner, and then I'm going to trim across the bottom as well. Now that I have the head cut out, I'm going to glue the white circles on for the eyeballs. I'm going to put just a little bit of white glue onto the paper, and I'm going to place them onto the other piece of paper. So the white circles get glued onto the yellow piece of paper. Then I'm going to use my oil pastels to draw the details for the owl's face. I can add a beak and I can color it in, and then I can also add the details for the eyes, and I can outline the different shapes as well. You might want to let the glue dry for a little bit before you try coloring with the oil pastel. If you put too much glue on, it makes it hard to color with the oil pastel. Color carefully and neatly. Take your time. You can make your owl have any kind of eyes you choose. I am going to decorate them and color them in. That looks good. I'm going to add some more outlines. That looks nice. I'm going to go around the outside with the black, and I'm going to trace around the edge of the paper. I am now ready to glue on the face of the owl. Take your white glue and put a little bit of glue on your paper, and then put it towards the top of your owl's body. Press and hold so it sticks. Count to 30. Then I can use the scraps of paper that were left over to make the feathers that stick off the top of the head, and I can also make talons or feet for the owl. So I'm going to use these tall triangles with a little bit of glue, and I'm going to stick them off the top of the head. If part of your owl sticks off the edge of the paper, that is okay. It is okay if your owl sticks off the edge of your paper. So let's give him those little feathers at the top of his head, and now let's add the talons or feet and claws for the owl's body. I'm going to cut them as a zigzag so they look sharp and pointy. An owl has talons or claws to help them pick up and catch their prey. So try to make those toes pointy by creating a zigzag with your scissors. If it helps to draw it first with a pencil, you can do that as well. A little tiny dot of glue, and see if you can't get them to stick underneath of your paper weaving. They should kind of tuck underneath of that paper weaving. Clean up your trash, and we're ready to move on to the last step, which is using our oil pastels to decorate the background with stars. To make a star, you can draw an X and a T. You can draw stars many different ways. I'm choosing to make my stars with an X and a letter T. Make sure you cover the whole paper with stars. Use couple different colors to make it look interesting. You can use any color you want for your stars, but I'm just going to stick to some warm colors, and I'm going to scatter them across my paper, and I'm going to make sure I don't miss any spots, fill them in a little bit. One more at the top over here looks good. Now that I'm done, I'm going to put my materials away, clean up all my stuff, and I'm going to make sure everything is put away, and then my art can go on the drying rack, and I'm all done for today.